I think I had to stop that. Hi, ladies. This is Bumi, and I'm here for the final day of this challenge. And today we're going to be talking about how to cultivate healthy habits. So it's not, I guess it's not only about how to cultivate this habit, it's also about how to retain them, because we can't start habits, good ones, to eliminate the ones we don't want to keep, but then something happens or we just fall back on our old ways. So what we need to do is be able to cultivate these habits in our own way, whoever we are, so that we can keep doing them over time, and then we become who we want to become. So as usual, I have my note here. So I'm going to start with the first one, and the first question you need to ask yourself, and I always like to pose questions to people because it causes us to search within. So it's not only about what I have to say, it's about, or what I have to say because I've experienced it, or I know people that have experienced it. Those questions are supposed to help you to self-reflect, think inwards, and then see how it is for you, so that when you do want to change, it can be intentional, and you can do it from a place of understanding who you are. So the first thing I'll talk about is your operating system. Okay, so the first question you want to ask yourself is, what is my operating system, aka your belief system regarding weight loss? I've done a few lives this week, so I don't know where I said it, but I remember saying this week that what you believe concerning a particular matter will be what you would do concerning that matter. So you can't rise above what you believe in that matter. If you think to yourself, or if you always say to yourself, I mean, I've had clients that will say, well, I can never stop doing this. There is no way. That's like my best food. I have to have an ice cream every day. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Maybe not every day, but you get the point. So they have that belief that they can't do something. And obviously, you can't rise above your beliefs. It's as simple as that. If you think you can't, then you can't. And I always tell my kids, if you think you can't, you can't. If you think you can, you can. You're right on both of them. So the way I want to spin this is, there's some limiting beliefs that we have. And it's not only about I can't or I cannot. They're the beliefs that, because these beliefs they're not self-taught, they're environmentally taught, or media taught, or stuff like that. And those kind of beliefs are endangering the way that we cultivate habits. So for instance, I was sharing with some Nigerian folks, and I was like, in Nigeria, if you want to plan a party, I suppose it's most Africans, if you want to plan a party, there is one thing that you cannot miss out. The first thing you think about, even before you think about the venue, is food, jollof rice. Yeah. And so because of that, it's the first thing we think about is jollof rice. So what we do concerning the party is premised on jollof rice. If there is no jollof rice, people will actually ask, even if it's a child's party, they will ask you, where is the jollof rice? Or aren't we having jollof rice? Because they expect that for a Nigerian party to be a Nigerian party, there has to be a jollof rice. That is a belief system. Do you understand? It's the same thing as a British party, or you have to have finger foods because that's what they eat. Cold finger foods and stuff like that. And you have to have like a bowl of crisp, because that's how they do. So it's a belief system, and everybody kinds of, it's like the tennis season. What comes with tennis season is cream and strawberry. Yes, it's a belief system. Everybody knows that when it's tennis season, when you go to the shops, you find them strawberries, cream because that's what they have. It's a belief system. So you want to find out what belief systems are negating where you want to go, right? What have you told yourself that, oh, I can't do that kind of exercise, it's just too hard. You haven't even tried it. So you have to be able to eliminate those belief systems and, you know, begin to think in a different way. How about I try it small? How about I do it this way? How about I learn about it? How about I get someone to help me? How about, do you understand? So you need to be able to find out what beliefs, because whatever you do, if you don't change the belief system, you always find yourself at zero. At the same point, you always go back to that same point because you believe you can't do without it. So that's the first thing you need to do, change your belief system. I also call it the operating system because it's the bedrock. It's like, it's there. It's like Microsoft, you know, Microsoft Office 8 or 10. That's what's powering your computer to work. And without it, you know, it may not work. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, so I'm going to go to the behavior focused ones before actual ones. As usual, sorry. Okay. So the second one is focus on who you want to be rather than who you are now. So what happens is people, most of us would, like if you fell off the wagon today, you start beating yourself up. I can't do it. I can't seem to be able to do it. You know, I always fail in this thing. I've tried so many diets and stuff like that. But instead of focusing on your capacity or what you are now, focus on doing who you want to become, being who you want to become. So, and I just want to say, I is this person, because that person is being in that. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're walking in that thing rather than they're trying to be that thing. So if somebody, there's two examples, very, very simple examples. So someone walks up to me at work, and this is a hypothetical case, and says, oh, would you like some scones? And I'm like, oh no, I don't eat scones. And then they walk up to another colleague and says, oh, would you like some scones? And then she says, oh no, I'm trying to lose weight. She's trying to be. I, on the other hand, I don't eat scones because that's who I am. Do you see the difference? She is trying. She may not even be able to pass the test. She looks at the scones like, oh, I'm just trying. I'm trying my best. And then she reaches for the scone and eats 3 of it. But I, on the other hand, I've already eliminated in my mind, like, I is a person that doesn't eat scones. Excuse my my grammar. But that's I like to say that to myself. I ease because that's my being, you know. I walk in that. I live in that. So the question you want to ask yourself is, what does a person that is in control of their actions, that's cultivated healthy habit, that is who you want to be, you know, that eat healthy foods and, you know, up to a certain standard, or, you know, that exercises regularly. And so what do they do, you know? And then you try, then you start doing those things rather than focusing on what you cannot do or what you're doing at the moment. So, for example, I have a coach, and then so she would say, I watch her, like, this is what she does. So I was like, okay, good. Then I'm going to try and do that in my own space, or, you know, in my own way, so that I can be who she is. That's the reason she's my coach, right? Or my mentor, excuse me. So you try to be, that's why people always read millionaire habits and stuff like that, because they want to be millionaires. So they cultivate the habits that millionaires cultivate, right? Millionaires wake up early to do all their work, to think, to meditate, to do all those things. Exactly. So you try, you picture someone and say, right, this person seems to have it all together regarding their weight loss and everything like that. What do they do regularly, you know? And then match that into your life so that you can also begin to put them into action. What do they do regularly? I would also begin to do these things regularly so that I can become that person. So Don't focus on who you are now, focus on who you want to be. So you probably need to profile someone or imagine someone in your mind, you know, that obviously that is like that, and then you can begin to take steps to do what they're doing. So the third thing is create a system. As I always say to people, everything is a process and everything is based on a system. So A, B, C equals, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 would equal 7, 8, something like that. So what process are you going to put in place, or what system are you going to put in place so that you can, you know, safely cultivate the habits that you want to cultivate? So let me use an example. So when I initially wanted to lose weight, or started to, I think I had a 1 year, less than a baby, and I started to, I have an older one, and she must have been 3 at the time. So I started to teach her. I mean, even though she was 3, she knew some, obviously a 3-year-old is not that little. So I started to teach her, this is what I want you to do so that you don't disturb my time, or this time is mine, you can go and do your colorings and stuff like that, so that I can get to like 30 minutes to exercise and stuff like that. Yeah. And then as they grew older, so like my baby then became 2, 3, 4, I started to put like alarm clocks in their room so that they can wake up themselves when it's time to wake up. So my children are 10, sorry, she's going to be 11 on Sunday. So they're 11 and 8, and that one was 8 yesterday. So 11 and 8 now, and I don't have to go and wake them up in the morning, because remember at that time they wake up 6:30. I am in my workout room doing my own stuff, and if I was to go wake them up, then you know it take longer and stuff like that. So the alarm goes off. I put a process in place. When your alarm goes off, you get up, you go and brush your teeth, you go and take a shower, and then you cross, and then you change. So you come out of the shower, you brush your teeth, you come out of brushing your teeth, you go into the shower, whatever be the case, and then the uniforms are laid out the day before and stuff like that, or ironed, you know, on Sunday, and they can, do you understand? And then they finish up, and then they come downstairs, have their breakfast, do their work before they go to school, that kind of thing. So I have a process. That way I can have a stress-free morning. Not that it's always stress-free, but you get what I mean. I still have time to concentrate on my workout, and then, you know, do some stuff as well, and then be on our way to work or school, wherever it is that we're going. That is a system that I've put into place so that I can better manage my mornings, and also include my exercise in my mornings, and then they obviously will not encroach on my own time. Do you understand? So you need a process. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just a process. It could be, so before, when my 11-year-old, or going to be 11, was in primary school, well, she's still in, but when she was like younger, when I drop her off at school, both of them off at school, then I would go off, I was in maternity, then I'll go off to the park with the baby, and then do my own stuff. Do you understand? So that's a process. So I was doing that after that. So I put after this, I'll do this. After that, I'll do this. Life doesn't always go like that, but once you have the process in place, you'll be able to use your time better, and then you'll be able to do the things that you need to do. You have times for everything. So I think I wanted to say something. As well. If I remember, I'll say it. So the third thing I wanted to talk about was start small. Now, one of the things I know that most of us do is we want to start big, you know, but nobody ever got anywhere without starting big. Start small, you know, something that you're comfortable with, and it's a little bit over what you're comfortable with. So if you were like walking with your walking group, and you could do like 2 kilometers before, then do like 2.1, 2.2 kilometers, and then so you're still starting at your level. It's not something that will completely throw you off guard and make you not want to do it, but it's something that is a little bit challenging as well. So start small, something within your comfort zone, but a little bit more challenging than your comfort zone. And that way, when it's time to move up, you're already used to it. And a very good example I use to people is when people run on the treadmill. I've watched a lot of people, when they start running on the treadmill, they just go boom, 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 and start running. No. When you start on the treadmill, you start walking at a good pace, maybe like number 4. Get used to that, then change it to 4.2, then get used to that, change it to 5, and then gradually, every 30 seconds or 1 minute, go to where you usually run at. That way, you'll be able to stay on your fastest speed for longer without getting tired, because your lungs they gradually got used to that level. Do you understand? But if you were to go straight to 7, you won't last more than 2 minutes before you stop again, and then you continue again, and that's how it's going to be. But if you start gradually, your lungs got better, and then gradually they were moving incline until you got to there. So it's the same way you start with your habit. If you don't even eat anything healthy at this time, instead of starting cold turkey, like eliminating all the sugars and everything, why don't you say, okay, for breakfast, or start with, I'm going to include vegetables in all my meals. That way, it means that automatically you'll be reducing part of your meals to accommodate the vegetables. That's a very simple way of starting. Or you can say, I'm going to make sure that my breakfast is healthy. Lunch and dinner, it will be fairly okay, or whatever it is I was eating before. Then you graduate to the second stage, and then the third stage, and then and before you know it, everything is fine. So you need to start small and build up. The third thing is make it simple. Don't overcomplicate things, and that is one of the first things. I think mostly in nutrition, that's what you find. You're looking for this recipe that is blow people's mind or whatever it is, and then because obviously it takes a while to make those foods and stuff, you get tired and you're like, I can't keep doing this. Make it simple. Break it down to the simplest form. Right, so I'm gonna have some so I prep my chicken for the whole week, my vegetables, put them in bags, prep them, zip blocks and stuff, all there, and then all I need to do is steam some rice, make some yam, some plantain, or whatever it is, couscous, bulgur wheat, anything, and then pay it. Do you understand? Or make the sauce, make like a pot of sauce or 2 pots of sauce, different types of sauce, and then pair them with anything during the week. Very simple. The simpler your processes are, the easier it is you're able to implement them. If you make them tricky, like you have to depend on someone to do it and stuff like that, then chances are they won't get done. So make them really simple and attractive as well. One of the things I like to do is, I'm a tomboy-ish naturally, but I still like to wear like colorful tops and for workout, not for normal wear. Colorful tops and stuff like that. So I always match. It's not my shoes are matching, or my top is matching with my shoes, or that kind of a thing. Or I wear lemon green on pink, like contrast and stuff like that. It's just to excite myself and stuff. So it's attractive to me. It makes me want to go and wear my stuff, my keys, and then work out. And I like my shoes as well, so it makes me want to work out. So if you know that you're that kind of person, then implement it in your life, and then it will help motivate you and help you to be able to carry out the actions well. The fifth thing I wanted to talk about is very important, and it's something that you have to do in physically and mentally as well. It's cultivating your own environment. What happens most of the time is we allow external factors to dictate our state of mind, our environment, and all of that. The first thing, let's talk about the physical. If you know that you want to stop eating biscuits, make sure that you don't have biscuits around. obviously, if you have kids, then you know that you're going to have biscuits around either way. But ensure that they're not the ones that you like to eat. So make your environment accident free in that regard. So that when you open the cupboard, because you don't like this kind of biscuit, you're not going to reach out for them. Chances are you just say, I don't really like those ones, and then you've that hurdle has been passed. So create that environment that is easy for you. When you get in at work, what's the first thing you see? Is it apples? Is it biscuit? Or is it bread? Rearrange things such that the first things you see that catches your eye is what you actually want to do. So your environment, the physical environment, matters. When I come downstairs, actually, if I was to look there, I see my treadmill and my stuff. Even if I didn't work out in the morning, because I'm seeing that my workout space, it would my brain keeps telling me you haven't done your workout today. It doesn't mean I don't take rest. I do take lots of rest, but my brain keeps telling me you haven't done your workout today. And then because it's in my face, I'll eventually get up and do it. Do you understand? So you have to make sure that your environment is enabling enough for you to be able to cultivate those habits that you want to. And then for internal is when you care about what people say about you and stuff like that, it kinds of mar the things that you, it's most times for people or for women, even for men, is because you've had that someone say, oh, you look so and so, or have you lost some weight, or have you gained weight, or have you, it goes both ways. You can be happy, you can go on a binging spree because you're happy, like something good just happened, and the next thing you think is, I want to reward myself with some biscuits or movies, popcorn and ice cream and stuff like that. Or it could be someone said, oh, have you gained some weight, and then it causes you to go down, and you start to think, oh, what can I do? And then you launch into these fat diets and stuff like that. You have to be able to cultivate your own mental environment such that nobody can break through it. Not anyone that would cause you any form of harm will be able to break through it. So you have to be proactive with your mental environment and not reactive. Reactive people, they like follow the wind and everything that happens, when you go to social media and see models and stuff like that, they're like, oh, I wish I was like that. And then you go and, do something, or you take on a plan or whatever it is that that may not work for you. But because that's what you're thinking about, that's what you do. Or reactive people, when people say things to them or something happens, they would generally go down like that. So you have to understand who you are, those triggers, and then build yourself up such that you don't react to them. The only things you react to is what you believe. And what do you believe? And that's why I started with your belief system. It's not what you see or what you can feel. You can feel like you're not in the best shape now, but still be working towards where you're going. So it's not how you feel. It's not what you see in the mirror. It is, what do you believe? Do you believe that you can do it? Do you believe that this is just a phase that you can pass? Do you believe that you can put actions into place, things into place, so that you can be who you really want to be? Then absolutely, that's what you should focus on, rather than focusing on what you can see or what you can feel or what you can hear people say and stuff like that, So all these things, they kind of tie up, because once you're able to put this 5, I have more, but I thought I'll stop at 5 today, 5 actions into place, then it's easy for you to be able to, go out there and say, actually, no, I'm going to eat this, I'm not going to eat that, because that's not who I am. They're all, they're interwoven. At the same time, they can stand alone. It depends on how you want to carry out. So I thought I didn't want the video to be too long today. So that's 5 tips, 5 ways that you can cultivate healthy habits. And once you're able to put those things into place, then your habits will flow from there. And once your habits are solid, then you naturally see that you become a different person. That's how you change who you are. You don't change who you are by trying to change what you're doing. You try to change it by first changing your thoughts. and then your thoughts would, changing your belief, then your beliefs will inform your thoughts, and then your thoughts will inform your emotions, and then your actions, and then your habits, and then who you are. So I hope I've been able to convince you, as I like to say to some people, and not confuse you of how you can cultivate healthy habits. So this marks the end of this challenge, and I am bowing down gracefully. Bowing out, actually, is the word. If you have any questions, please put them below, and I'll be happy to answer as soon as I see them or I receive the notifications and all that. Yes, so that's me today. Well done to everyone that's taking actions. I've had quite a few DMs actually, which is very nice. I understand, appreciate that we're all busy at this time, but don't just be a watcher or a looker. Take some action. You'll be surprised where you'll be in a month or two. If you need any help, extra help or stuff like that, let me know. I have a challenge that is going to start next week. If you would like to join, let me know, and I'll send you the details. Always happy to help. Thank you. Bye.